well, why don't we get started then? So two items to cover today. We're going to cover the findings. And then you wanted to, Steve, you just sent out an email earlier today talking about moving our December meeting from the 28th to the 19th. Is that right?
Yeah, just wanted to have just maybe a little discussion on that and get some input from you guys. Just wanted to touch base a little bit on that.
Got it. Well, let's start with the findings from our meeting from Thursday night. Did everybody have a chance to look those over? Good. Any thoughts on potential revisions, or are we good with the way these are written and I can sign them later today?
So we do have some potential revisions. Mickey sent these over. That should be up on your screens now.
Okay.
Basically what we're looking at doing or what she's proposing to do is just to make sure that the findings clarify that the footpath is both a footpath that requires a CUP as well as an accessory structure as defined by the code. And so that's just getting clarified in the red text on your screen right now.
All right. Mickey, do you want me to read it out loud? I think it'd be helpful to read it out loud, or would you like to go through it, read it out loud, and give us some context as?
Sure. Why don't I do context first?
Sure.
And then I can read it out loud.
Okay.
So the context is, my sense of our discussion was that we were thinking of this as a footpath, which requires conditional use permit, and also as an accessory structure, which could not be within the 5-foot setback. So under accessory structures in the wetland code, although they're an outright use, they have to comply with all applicable standards. So this, I believe, the way we were interpreting that was to say it needs to apply to the standards for a footpath, because obviously it's a footpath. Like, how can we argue it's not? And it is obviously very built. And as their attorney stated, they're, considering this to be an accessory structure. So my sense simply was that we were thinking of it both ways, because the conversation definitely went both directions. We had the word accessory structure in there, but people were also thinking about things like demand, which is part of conditional use. So I tried to clarify that it seemed like our discussion did consider both things at once. So if you want me to read through the changed portions, I can now, unless we want to talk about the context first.
Any questions from people about the context?
No.
I think it makes a lot of sense.
Okay. Yeah, I just skimmed through them really quickly here, Mickey. They made sense to me. Do people want to hear them out loud, or are we feeling like we're good with the way they're written?
We're good. I'm good.
Good. Okay. Well, let's keep that language there. One thing that I saw, it's under the findings, and this might not be a big deal. It might be obvious. Second to last paragraph in the findings. I'll just read it. The commission additionally finds that the city has not yet received a type 1 development permit application for the project. So the thing I'll come back to in that sentence is the project. This permit type is for construction of a structure or building that requires a building permit pursuant to state building codes. The city has received a type 2 development permit application for excavation and grading in conjunction with DP 2335, which shows a conceptual site plan as well as the location of utilities. The city has determined that DP 2335 application to be complete with review pending the Planning Commission's decision of this condition use application. It'd be conditional use application. I think the challenge I had with the language in that first sentence was the project, because it's one might argue there's two projects, and this might be just too nitty-gritty and it might not matter. But we refer the project above, we refer to a specific case, DP 2335. Are we talking about the accessory structure there? Are we talking about the project to put 2 houses on there? I've
got an idea that could clarify that. How about the proposed residential development instead of project?
I think that would be great.
Yeah.
And anywhere we have that project or I think putting it in that place would really clear that up. Okay, that was the only thing I saw. Was there anything else people wanted to add or have concerns about?
The and the note that you made about the conditional use application, and that the end of the second to last sentence in that same paragraph.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah,
The typo correction that you mentioned.
good catch. I actually didn't catch it till I read it out loud. A little reminder.
Yeah.
Anything
The
else?
decision of this condition. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't have anything else.
Okay.
Let me ask you a quick question, Clay, if that's okay.
But of course.
And it goes back to Mickey's ad. I just want to make sure that I understand what we're saying, and I apologize for, it takes me a while to get caught up. Now, the footpath as it was drawn never was within the existing wetland or the buffer. That was all bridged by the accessory structure. Is that right? I think I'm right.
No, because it's over the buffer, therefore it is in that area. It doesn't have to be physically touching it to be a project in the buffer because it is located in the 5 feet outside of the delineated wetland.
Okay, and just help me make sure. So I thought that the design of the structure had the footings outside the 5-foot buffer on both ends.
Yes, so it does physically touch down outside the buffer, which is excellent, and I was really glad to see
I agree.
they work so hard. But it is physically within the 5 feet of the buffer. It is over that
Okay.
buffer, which means it can impact the vegetation underneath. And we need to consider all of the impacts, not just what's physically touching the mud, let's say.
So let me get one last question, and I'll be happy with this. And so the structure, that the bridge did affect the buffer because it went over it, but the footpath itself that they had marked, that would extend from the ends of the structure, the only problem with that was the fact that it was within the 5-foot setback. Am I understanding that correctly?
The bridge is in the 5-foot setback. Depending on how, and I did not look carefully at that ramp. Is that what you're making the distinction when you say
I think
footpath?
so. I think so. I'm trying to make sure I can.
Okay, so let's talk about an asphalt ramp, which from the drawings, I don't think we're talking about because it looks like it's in the upland. But that bridge portion that's spanning the 5-foot buffer or is running through the 5-foot buffer with footings on the upland is still in the buffer because it's over that buffer area and could impact vegetation underneath.
Okay. I think I was misled. I misunderstood them because when you were talking about footpath, I thought you were talking about the rest of the pathway outside the bridge.
No,
And
I'm talking
you're
about,
really talking about the function of that bridge as a footpath.
yes,
Okay,
exactly.
all right. Okay, thank you. I was not thinking correctly. I don't have any reservations with it.
Okay. Any other comments, edits, concerns? Okay, well, can I have a motion to approve the minutes as amended here in this meeting?
Motion to approve
Findings,
I'm sorry.
the
Mickey,
findings.
what did I say?
findings, not minutes, right?
Thank you. I'm glad you're right there next to me, Mickey. I'd be lost without you. The findings are, so a motion to approve these findings as amended?
Yes, here's your motion
Thank
to
you. Do I
approve
have
the
a
findings.
second?
I'll second.
Okay. Emily, will you call the roll, please?
Commissioner Matusik,
Yes.
Commissioner Bates,
Yes,
Commissioner Farrell,
Yes.
Commissioner Moritz,
Yes,
Commissioner Sinclair,
Yes.
Commissioner Ostrander,
Yes.
Chair Newton.
Yes. Okay, those are approved. We'll move on to the scheduling question. What do people think about moving our meeting on the 28th of December to December 19th?
either one's fine.
I'm gonna be out of town until that Thursday, the 21st. well, I'll be back technically on the 20th, but I won't have access to Zoom or anything. I'll be in the air.
Okay. Do you have an objection to having the meeting on the 19th?
Just that I wouldn't be able to be there is the only hiccup, which if I can't be there, I can't be there. If everyone else can make it, then that's.
We won't hold it against you. You put that on the table. Anybody else?
I will certainly not be in person, but I'll be happy to participate via Zoom. It's not a
What
problem.
day is the 19th?
It's a Tuesday.
Okay.
And I would be on Zoom on either of those days as well.
I'll be here.
Okay,
Okay.
I'm okay with that. Steve, I don't know that we need to vote on that, but
No, just
I'm hearing
wanted to
enough.
touch.
we're
Just
okay with
wanted to
it.
touch base with everyone because it was just one of those ones I think over the holidays, the city's going to be closed and I just didn't know between that week who's going to be in here and that. And I don't want applicants to come here and us not having a quorum should we have a meeting. So it was more just trying to, try to be a little bit proactive instead of us attending and maybe not being able to have a meeting. So it was just an idea to toss out.
Good idea. I say let's do it.
All right.
Okay, I'm with that meeting. Anything else while we're here on the phone for a minute?
And then I think is November still the same or is November is the 21st, I believe?
Date?
It's been
Yeah,
moved.
it's moved back to Tuesday on that week, correct?
Yes. So that is the same kind of deal that we're dealing in November with too, with the holidays. So we're moving it to the 21st, I believe is the date. I don't have a calendar in front of me.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
the
that's
date that it would.
Okay.
be. We don't have any applications on the 21st and information regarding the wetland. Proposed wetland revision, that's still pending. As far as having the ESE analysis completed and comments from the state.
I'm wondering though if
So-
we could, can I,
No,
a
Go ahead.
question, Clay? On the wetlands, can we incorporate the changes that we discussed and get it out to the public so that or get it on the website before the 19th anyway?
I think one of the things we are doing is trying to set up a meeting to clarify some of those things. And once we have that was our intent. We're hoping to have that meeting early part of November just to verify, hey, kind of a staff meeting, not a meeting with the plan commission, but just to get that and then get that clarified and then put that back out to the public.
Hey, Mickey, do you guys mind if one of the focus group people attend?
I think one of the things we were going to do was have an opportunity to reach out to Mickey and see if she could just possibly meet with us to do some of that clarification.
Okay, good. Perfect.
Okay, so Robert, did I hear you right? We have no applications. The only things we potentially have are coming back to the wetland, and also dark skies, as I recall.
Correct. Right now, we have no applications for November. We're anticipating possibly a couple applications for December. As far as the wetland related information, I don't know, looking at the calendar, I don't know if that would be completed and be ready to be released before November 21st meeting. Like I said, we would have to get that ESE done, and also DLCD would take time to do their review period, put together comments, and that's basically 3 weeks. I find that kind of unlikely.
Mhm.
So right now, if there were to be a meeting in November, it would be probably a discussion work session type of meeting.
Okay. Well, obviously, if we need to be there in person, I'm all about that. But if this is something we can do on Zoom, people are dropping like flies around me.
Yeah.
A lot of COVID cases, a lot of colds. I prefer this format right now. So if we don't have a lot in front of us, I would be in favor of doing it again on Zoom, just for everybody's. This is my personal feeling. Don't just my own voice on this. I would prefer not to be sitting in a room with people.
Okay.
I'm totally fine with that too.
Offended. I am.
Much as I love you guys.
Oh, yeah, you had to get that in.
So So let's come back to that and just see how things are shaping up as we get a little further into the month.
Sounds good.
Thank you, everybody. Have a good rest of the week.
Just a
Hi,
minute, Claire.
everyone.
Oh, yeah, I didn't adjourn yet. No, I guess.
One thing, what are the,
Yeah.
what are the chances we get something on the tree code close enough to run by people on the 19th?
I think that, I mean, my expectation is, you know, when I get a version that we want to start talking to city and to the arborists about.
If you guys want, we could do a work session on the tree code. Perhaps, if you're interested. I mean, I'd like to get it moving.
I think that's a good idea. Let's see what is happening on the other fronts. And what the depth of that is, looking like. And, you know, maybe it'd be a great time to do the tree code as well, to work on that.
Okay.
Okay, anything else? All right, then we'll adjourn. Thanks again, everybody.
Yeah.